Good evening.
Good evening, Pastor.
For those of you who don't know me, I'm Pastor Horrace, and I've been here quite a few times. I love coming here every chance I get. Okay. Let's start with everyone bow your head and say an individual prayer to your Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Right. Throughout history, people of Israel, they've been known as people of great ingenuity. Yet ingenuity gets people in trouble whenever they begin to rely on their own ability to get out of jams. That's the situation in Isaiah chapter 30. And it reads, "Woe to the rebellious children, declares the Lord, who execute a plan but not mine, and make an alliance but not of my spirit, in order to add sin to sin." What that's about is the Babylonians were afraid of the Assyrians. The Assyrians were extremely vicious people. They were warriors, and they were vicious, and they didn't care about any life whatsoever. So what they did is they decided they would try to make an alliance with Egypt, for Egypt to come and help them fight the Assyrians. God didn't like that. God said, no. You went to Egypt instead of coming to me first. And they paid the price for that. So let me continue. Knowing they were about to be invaded, the Assyrians, the Jews formed an alliance with the Egyptians. In fact, a number of Jews actually moved to Egypt, thinking that they would be safer in Egypt than they were in Jerusalem. And I said Babylonians, I meant Jerusalem. Trying to protect themselves, organize themselves, and look to themselves and rely on themselves. Big mistake. Therefore, God inspired his prophet Isaiah to speak to this country concerning their military alliance with the Egyptians. His message was blessed, happy is the man who waits for God. That's the message. Blessed, happy is the man who waits for God. The secret of faith is to wait on the Lord. That's the secret. Wait. Don't be in a hurry. Too often, I'm in a hurry. When I can't press the button to make something happen, I get upset. Sometimes. Okay? I lose interest and I go on to something else. But in the things of God, in the arena of the eternal, there's no button to push. Instead, God says, I want you to wait, slow down, rest, be quiet. Blessed are those who wait for me. Maybe you're sensing the coming of the invasion of the Assyrians in your own circumstances. Maybe rationally, things aren't looking good. Maybe occupationally, the job situation just isn't working out. Maybe financially, it looks as though you're about to be skinned alive. At these times, it's so tempting to get counsel from someone to try to push the button of some organization to try and make something happen in your own ability with our own ingenuity. But all the while, God's saying, I want you to simply return to me. Be quiet before me and wait on me. For the believer, waiting has nothing to do with being lazy. Waiting is not a matter of folding our arms and waiting for something to happen. It's a matter of lifting our arms and waiting for someone. God, of course. For the believer, waiting is active. It's being on your knees before the Lord, lifting our hands to the Lord, returning to the Lord again and again. Why does an all-powerful God who can change our circumstances, bless our marriages, and provide finances want us to wait for him? Why? Perhaps the answer is best illustrated in the first chapter of the book of 1 Samuel. There we see a man named Elkanah, a godly man. One of his two wives, Peninnah, before Elkanah many kids, bore Elkanah many kids. The other wife, Hannah, had no children. Although Elkanah truly loved Hannah, she was ashamed of her barrenness. While at the tabernacle in Shiloh for the yearly festival, Hannah poured out her heart to the Lord, wept bitterly, prayed fervently about her situation. Not understanding what she was doing, Eli, the priest, assumed she was drunk. Hannah insisted she was not drunk at all, but was praying. Lord, if you bless me with a child, I will dedicate him to you from the time he is weaned until all the days of his life. When a parent in those days dedicated their children to the Lord upon birth, the child was called a Nazarite. Not a Nazarene, it's called a Nazarite, meaning that the entire life was devoted to God. There were certain things that they had to do, such as not cutting their hair, not drinking alcohol, they had about maybe 10 things that they had to live by, being a Nazarite. But he was one. Also, you may not know it, but Samson was also a Nazarite. So hearing this, the power of the Spirit, Eli said, the Lord has heard your prayer and he will answer it. Hannah went on her way rejoicing. Sure enough, Hannah gave birth to a boy who could become one of Israel's mightiest prophets. She named him Samuel. Hannah wanted a son because she was embarrassed. God, however, wanted a man through whom he could speak to his people. Therefore, in reality, it was so much Hannah waiting for God all those years, but God waiting for Hannah to be in a place where she could say, if you bless me with a son, I will give him to you. All right, God must have thought, that's what I've been waiting for. Blessed are all they who wait on him. Isaiah 30:18 says, but the preceding phrase says, therefore will the Lord wait. The question therefore is, who's waiting on whom? God says, wait on me, because in reality, I'm waiting for you. There are things I want to do for you, in you, and through you that are much greater than you could ever imagine. I want you to wait on me because I'm waiting for you to see what I want to do in you, through you, and for your life. I'm waiting for you to get to the place where I can open the doors for you and pour out blessings upon you greater than your barns can even hold. Now that says a lot. Many times we are waiting on blessings, but we're not in the place to receive those blessings. Many times we ask for things. They don't happen. And they don't happen not because we don't ask, it's because we're not in the place where we are to receive, where we should be to receive those blessings. That's where we need to be. The Lord wants you to wait on him, for not because he's playing a game with you, but because he's waiting for you to get to a different place than the one you're in. So he can bless you in ways you never dreamed possible. When we are not in the right place, God won't bless us. God won't give us the gifts that we deserve. He won't give us the gifts that we ask for, simply because we're not in the right place to receive them. God knows where we are. He knows who each and every one of us are in our hearts, in our minds. He knows if our minds are not where they should be. He knows if we don't love him truly in our hearts. Many of the times that we ask for things that we think we deserve or should have or will help us in our lives, we don't receive them, only because we're not ready. Once you're ready, or God thinks that you're ready, you'll be surprised how many blessings will come your way. They will. I can testify to that myself. I wasn't always in a place where God would bless me. Not always. Many of you have heard the story where God spoke to me once. Okay. I was in a place I shouldn't have been, doing things I shouldn't have been doing. And God spoke to me. He said, go home. You better go home. So eventually I went home. And what happened was, the next morning I found out that the previous night where I was, someone went there and killed everybody in the place. Everyone. They killed 6 adults. They left an infant alive. I could have been number 7 had I not listened to God. So, believe me, God knows when we're in the right place. God knows what's in your heart. He knows what's in my heart. Okay? And I try to keep my heart clean. I try not to let anything enter my heart that's evil, vindictive, any of those things against anybody else. Because when I promise myself that when I look at people, when I look at you, I try to see you as Jesus may have seen you. I promised myself that and I live by it. And there was another couple who prayed for years and years for a child. Finally, when Zacharias was an old man and his wife Elizabeth was well past the age of childbearing, the angel Gabriel appeared to him saying, your prayers have been heard and you will have a child. Zacharias, no doubt, scratched his head and said, what prayers? I haven't prayed for a child in years. And because he didn't believe, he wasn't able to speak a word until the son was born. We all know who that son was. Who?
John the Baptist.
I can't hear you.
John the Baptist.
Absolutely. That's right, John the Baptist. And why didn't God answer Zacharias' Elizabeth's prayer and his wife's prayer immediately, or at least within a decade of their request? Because he was doing something that they couldn't possibly have imagined in their wildest dreams or expectations. You see, from Zacharias and Elizabeth came the greatest man who ever lived, according to Jesus, a man named John the Baptist. God was waiting for the time to be right for the forerunner of the Messiah to be born. Waiting so Elizabeth could be an encouragement to the young virgin named Mary. You see how the plan flows? It's all one plan. It all flows. Okay? God knows what he's doing. So what about us? We have a choice to make today, whether to see who we can talk to, what strings we can pull, what doors we can knock down to change our situation, or to say, Lord, you said I'm to return to you and rest, to be quiet and confident, so I'm doing that now. Wait on the Lord, because the Lord is waiting on you. And when you're in the right place where he can bless you abundantly, when your motives are adjusted, when the scene is set and the right time has come, he will be exceedingly gracious to you. Exceedingly. Wait on the Lord. He's waiting for you. God bless you all. Does anybody have any questions? Comments? Well, as I said, I enjoy coming here every time. As a matter of fact, I'll be here the evening before Thanksgiving. And I'll have a nice Thanksgiving message for you then. Okay? But I come as often as I possibly can come. I really enjoy it. As you know, most of you know, I'm here every Tuesday morning at 8:30. Giving a nice class, or as nice as we can make it. Okay? So, be blessed. Enjoy your evening. Thank you.
Hey.